Oh, hey, champ. Hey, what do you got there? Oh, you found my old baseball cards. These are all my Donruss cards. I collected these a lot as a kid. Hey, do you know about the Donruss Baseball Card Company? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's head over to the table. I think I've got some old Donruss baseball card packs we can rip open. Let's critique the design and learn all about the company. What do you say? Yeah? All right. Here's the intro. The predecessor to the Donruss Company was known as Thomas Weiner Company, founded in the 1940s by brothers Douglas Thomas and Donald Weiner in Memphis, Tennessee. It was a confectionery company that produced hard candy and Super Bubble bubblegum. Joined by their brother Russell in 1954 and using a combination of their names, the Thomas Weiner Company's name was changed to Donruss. In addition to candy, several trading card sets were produced. These sets were themed on popular TV shows of the 1960s, including The Addams Family, The Monkees, and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. These sets continued into the 1970s with titles like The Dukes of Hazzard and Saturday Night Fever. In 1975, the Fleer Corporation filed a lawsuit against Topps Chewing Gum Incorporated and the Major League Baseball Players Association, alleging antitrust law violations. 5 years later, a federal judge ruled in Fleer's favor, opening the door for the company to produce and distribute its own baseball cards. Donruss coattailed their way in and wasted no time in negotiating terms with the MLBPA and produced a set ready for the 1981 season. Unfortunately, in late 1981, an appellate court overturned the judge's ruling, and it looked like the 1981 Donruss set would be an outlier, just a one-off baseball card set and the end to a story that never really got started. But in a legal maneuver that should be enshrined in the Legal Loophole Hall of Fame, Fleer's attorneys found that Topps did in fact have exclusive rights to sell baseball cards with gum or candy. So in subsequent years, Fleer included team logo stickers with their cards, and Donruss included the puzzle pieces we all know and love. And now that we are all up to speed, let's rip some packs and discuss the quality and design of the first 9 years of production of Donruss baseball cards. Before we get started ripping open these packs, I'd like you to hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content like this. It really helps my channel grow. It helps put this video and others into the algorithm so more people may enjoy what you are enjoying right now. Thank you. Before we start ripping open the baseball card packs, I want to open up one of these mystery card packs. These were put out in the early to mid 1980s, and it was just a way for Donruss to burn through their overstock of their non-sports cards. I opened up one earlier, and it was full of these Zero Heroes card or sticker series. But it could also be BMX or KISS, the Dallas or Chips TV show, Saturday Night Fever, MASH, Elvis. Who knows what's going to be in here? I see some guy's face here, but let's just rip right into it and see what non-sport we have. Looks like the backs are a multi-card puzzle piece. Let's see what the front's. Oh, it's the Bee Gees. Barry Gibb. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. A movie or a TV show, Leaving Heartland. We got Donald Pleasance. Sgt. Pepper dies at ceremonies in his honor. Strawberry looks on as Billy performs. The LHCb receives a wire from BD. And the Sgt. Pepper weather vane comes to life. And yeah, it looks like the backs are puzzle piece of the movie logo. So that's pretty cool. Well, now that we've got the non-sports out of the way, let's get ripping into the sports. That's what everyone wants. The 1981 Donruss set was rushed to market and therefore filled with biographical and statistical errors. The cardstock is flimsy and the photo and print quality was average at best. A simplistic design was chosen, consisting of a single color border, the Donruss logo and year in the upper left, shadow block lettering for the team name along the bottom right with the player name and position centered in the white void along the bottom edge. It's curious that they went with this design, seeing as how the test promo cards, I believe, in my opinion, looked much better than this. The only valuable rookie card in this set is the Tim Raines, number 538, but All-Star and Hall of Fame talent is plentiful. In 1981, there was Nolan Ryan, Mike Schmidt, Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, George Brett, Ozzie Smith, and of course, Tom Seaver. That's just to name a few. This set was the only set that came with gum. Willie Stargell got the gum stain, and he is the third card from the gum. It's nice and powdery after nearly 45 years. But Willie Stargell and Steve Stone and Gary Allenson all have gum stain and residue and bleed through. So the fact that after this set, Donruss was forced to abandon putting gum in its packs may have been a blessing in disguise. So let's set those aside. Grab our 1981 Donruss wax pack here and rip into it. Again, we're looking for the Tim Raines rookie, but any notable player of this era will be acceptable. And there's that gum. It is disgusting. We'll get to that in a second. We got John Montefusco. Don Baylor. Played with the Angels before he was a manager. Roy Howell. Pete Rose. Nice. Glad we could pull a Pete Rose. That looks nicely centered, too. Dennis Worth. Jerry Augustine. Junior Kennedy. Bruce Bochette. Keith Moreland. Tim Stoddard. Rick Burleson, Vita Blue, Jim Barr. If you'll notice, the edges are very rough cut. I don't know if you can see that very well, but they are. You can see the cardboard fibers. Otto Velez.
Okay.
Sparky Anderson was a manager for a very long time. You see that gum starting to bleed through here. We're not going to have any good cards after this. Bucky Dent, Buck Martinez, and who's going to get the worst of it? Ron Oster. Hey, we got the Pete Rose, and that is more than I could ask for. That's a beautiful card there. Let's move on. Donruss printed its 1982 set with some stereotypical baseball imagery. For this year, the logo was moved to the upper right corner. A baseball bat graphic stretched across the bottom edge with the player name and position printed across the barrel, and a white baseball was positioned to the bottom left with the team name printed across the negative space. This year featured the new puzzle pieces instead of gum, and when all 63 pieces were obtained, collectors would complete the Babe Ruth Hall of Fame Diamond King puzzle. This was the first year Donruss included the Diamond King series of cards, portrait paintings by Dick Perez. This would become a staple in the series, becoming insert cards in later years. The obvious chase card rookie is the Cal Ripken Jr. Others include Lee Smith and Kent Herbeck, and the star power of Nolan Ryan, Reggie Jackson, Pete Rose, and more. Of course, I've already pulled a Rod Carew, but you're here to see this pack. 1982 Donruss Wax. Let's get into it. This is the first year with the Diamond Kings puzzle, and you'll see that here. We have an edge of the babe's ear. Starting with Kevin Saucier, Hubie Brooks, Gene Tennis, Doc Medic, Ray Knight, Ken Brett, Paul Moscow, Mike Prolly, Dick Ruthven, Miguel De Leon, Neil Allen, Denny Walling, Bobby Mercer, Dick Tidrow, and we're ending with a checklist. And that's 1982 Donruss. The Donruss card design barely changed between 1982 and 1983. The logo was moved back to the upper left corner, the direction of the bat graphic was reversed, and a baseball glove was used instead of the baseball. This year's puzzle was Ty Cobb, and notable rookies include Ryne Sandberg, Wade Boggs, and Tony Gwynn, while stars like George Brett, Ozzie Smith, and Nolan Ryan rounded out the set. Here I've already pulled a Dennis Eckersley. That one wasn't too bad, but we're here for this one, the 1983 Donruss Wax Pack Ty Cobb puzzle. And we're chasing the Ryne Sandberg, Wade Boggs, and Tony Gwynn rookies. Here's the puzzle piece. Rich Dower starts us off. Danny Heap, Ron Washington, Gary Matthews, Carney Lansford, Pat Underwood. We got the chicken.
Oh my.
We'll put the chicken up. I like the chicken. Jeff Newman, Dwayne Walker,
Okay.
Steve Garvey, Leon Durham, Mickey Klutz, Tom Brookins. We end with Gene Tennis. And that is 1983 Donruss. The 1984 Donruss card design isn't just an improvement over previous years, it's a flat-out iconic layout. Donruss moved everything, logo, team, player name, to the bottom quarter of the card, leaving the majority of the space for the photo. The team name was printed in simple block letters among a swoosh of parallel lines. The Donruss logo is placed lower right, and player names appear in narrow color stripes along the bottom edge. This year was notable because of the debut of the rated rookie, as chosen by Bill Madden, a sports writer and member of the Baseball Writers Association of America. Duke Snyder was featured on the jigsaw puzzle. Joe Carter, Darryl Strawberry, Don Mattingly are the chase rookies, while second-year cards of Sandberg, Boggs, and Gwynn hold above average value, along with cards like Ozzie Smith and Nolan Ryan and George Brett. Now we're going to get this 1984 pack ripped open so we can see what is inside. There is the puzzle piece, and we'll start with Scott Thompson. Jose Oquendo, Sammy Stewart, Alejandro Pena, Jim Clancy, Luis Sanchez, Bill Allman, Bob Meacham.
Okay.
We got a Diamond Kings Jack Clark, Ron Oster, Bob Denier, Bob Forsch, bunch of Bobs, Bob Stanley, Toby Hara, and we end with John Castino. That is the 1984 Donruss card. Donruss really started coming into their own with the 1985 design. A bold black background and cleverly placed red stripes really sets this card apart from anything Donruss had done so far. The logo appears in the top left with the player name in a colored stripe along the bottom of the photo. Most notably, the official trademark team logo appears on the cards for the first time. Rookie chase cards include Kirby Puckett, Dwight Gooden, and Roger Clemens. Ironically, the best rookies of the set, none were rated rookies, which now we have switched to the iconic rated rookie logo, which would be here to stay for all subsequent Donruss sets. We're also looking for Nolan Ryan, Cal Ripken, Tony Gwynn, Don Mattingly, etc., etc. 1985 Donruss. Here is the Lou Gehrig puzzle piece. We have John Rabb.
Okay.
We got Ken Griffey Sr.
Okay.
Phil Niekro. He looks old in 1985 and he pitched for a few more years. Luis Salazar. Alvin Davis. Doug DeSins. I think that's how you pronounce that. Another Alvin Davis, Diamond King. And we have a checklist. Rob Wilfong. Len Whitehouse. Roy Smalley. Gary Ronicki, John Tudor, Jerry Willard, and we end with Rich Gedman. And that is 1985 Donruss. A new company logo and innovative design highlight the 1986 Donruss set. With an angular crop to the picture set on deep blue striped background, the card gives off Max Headroom vibes. The star power of Cal Ripken, Ryan Sandberg, Nolan Ryan, and Kirby Puckett are nothing compared to one of the most iconic baseball cards of the 1980s, the Jose Canseco rated rookie. Other rookies include the crime dog Fred McGriff and Cecil Fielder. And by the way, this year is considered to be the beginning of the junk wax era, a period defined by overproduction of cards, leading to a supply glut that in the long term has weighed down the value of star cards from this era. This surplus has persisted even today, as you can find many whole sealed boxes from this 1986 set and on for about as much as one of today's blaster boxes. The puzzle featured is the Hank Aaron. And here's the 1986 Donruss baseball card wax pack. We are chasing that Jose Canseco rookie. Let's rip right into it, see if we can find that. Here's our puzzle piece of Hank Aaron. And we're starting off with Fred Lynn.
Okay.
We got Marvell Wynn, Mike Hargrove, Glenn Hoffman, Bob Brenly, Keith Hernandez, O to B McDowell, Jose Canseco, there it is, the iconic 1986 Donruss rated rookie Jose Canseco. Holy cow, that's nice. Jack Clark, Mike Brown, Cecil Fielder, another great rookie of 1986 set, Dave Schmidt, Floyd Bannister, Tony Gwynn. Wow, this is a banger of a pack, and we're going to end with Steve Ontiveros. But we got the Jose Canseco rated rookie. That's amazing. All right, that's the 1986 Donruss. Dark borders continued to be the norm at Donruss in 1987. Another memorable design, black background with a gray baseball section across the mid-card. Sought-after rookies include Barry Bonds, Bo Jackson, Greg Maddux, and Mark McGwire. Star cards are the usual suspects: Nolan Ryan, Kirby Puckett, Wade Boggs, and others. The puzzle features Roberto Clemente. Pulled Sean Dunston earlier. He was one of my favorite players on the Cubs as a kid growing up. But we're here for this. The 1987 Donruss baseball card pack. Let's pull some more rookies. Here's the Roberto Clemente puzzle piece. It's a corner piece. Starting off with the Diamond King of Keith Moreland. Got Glenn Davis, Mark Thurman, Bill Duran, Frank Tanana, Ray Hayward,
Okay.
Ryne Sandberg. He was also one of my favorite players. Jeff Robinson, Dave Kingman,
Okay.
Kevin Mitchell. I believe that might be his rookie. Put up
Okay.
Kevin Mitchell. We got Phil Necro, Joe's brother, Milt Thompson, Dave Steve,
Okay.
Ozzie Smith, that's nice. And we end with Dale Swen. So that's the 1987 Donruss. The blue and red design of the 1988 set is, in my opinion, a step back for Donruss. While it's not a terrible design, it certainly isn't as bold as the 85 set or as striking as the 86. My judgment may be biased, as we are now firmly in the junk wax era, and the 1988 set was by far the most overproduced print run to date. In my youth as a beginning collector, these cards were literally everywhere. There was no shortage of star power. Mark Grace, Tom Glavine, and Roberto Alomar led the way. And if not for the irresponsible mass production of this series, those rookie cards may be worth twice as much as they are now and more accurately reflect the value of the players they represent. Stan Musial was the featured puzzle, and here is the pack.
Here we go.
Let's open it up and hope we get more than just kindling for my fireplace. Here's the Stan Musial puzzle. Smiling at you. You got a Diamond King to start, Tony Fernandez. Don August. Jose Mesa. Mark Thurman. Alejandro Pena. Neil Allen. Storm Davis. Sammy Stewart. John Davis. Steve Howe. Vicente Palacios, rated rookie. Kurt Wilkerson. Pascual Perez. Rick Honeycutt, and we end with Melito Perez. That is the 1988 Donruss. And last we come to the 1989 set. The card design features different color top and bottom edges, fading between colors with the sides being a segmented black. Again, overproduction has destroyed card values, even though two premier top performers are included in the Rated Rookie series. That's Randy Johnson and Ken Griffey Jr. Bo Jackson, Nolan Ryan, Tony Gwynn, George Brett, and Cal Ripken are among the notable stars. The puzzle features Warren Spahn, and we are hunting that Griffey in this 1989 Donruss wax pack. Let's rip into it. Cross our fingers. Here's that Warren Spahn puzzle. He's looking at you. Starting with Keith Miller, Paul Mirabella, Jody Davis, Gary Reedus, Carmelo Martinez, Gerald Perry, MVP. We have the Diamond Kings checklist, Brian Meyer, Tony Armas,
Okay.
the Chris Sabo Frogman Diamond King, we'll put him up, Juan Nieves, Craig Worthington,
Okay.
Freddie Lynn, we'll put up Fred Lynn, Alejandro Pena, and we end with Luis Aguayo of the Yankees. And that is the 1989 Donruss. In addition to these base sets, Donruss released many supplemental sets throughout the years. Hall of Fame Heroes, the oversized Action All-Star set, Champions, Highlights, Rookies, Pop-Ups, Opening Day, among others. Donruss continued producing cards into the 1990s, but sales slowed as the market grew crowded and collectors demanded a higher quality product. In 1996, Pinnacle Brands acquired Donruss, but succumbed to bankruptcy in 1998, possibly a victim of its own creation. Playoff Corp purchased the Pinnacle Donruss brand, becoming Donruss Playoff LP in 2001, releasing various sets until 2009, including unlicensed product. Panini of Italy then purchased Donruss Playoff in 2009 and renamed it Panini America, who continues to produce the cards under the Donruss name to this day, even using the rated rookie designation on potential star cards. And that is the history of Donruss. I appreciate you watching it to the end. Give a like if you learned something new, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. Tune into my shorts where I open up junk wax packs twice a day, every day, Monday to Saturday. Thank you for watching.